Hey folks, welcome back to AAA Farms. James here. Got us a beautiful Saturday today. It's October 19th here in Louisiana. And I think it's roughly 80 degrees outside. Today marks the opening day for primitive deer season for us, so that's what I did all morning. Now that I'm back to the house, with it being kind of prime hurricane season and having all the hurricanes out in the Gulf, we've been having a plan to put our house, or to add a generator interlock to our house breaker. And we bought the generator a while back, and we finally just finished getting everything else because it came up as a pretty big priority at the time, because this is when we had that big winter storm in the south that was pretty bad for us. However, it kind of fell to the wayside. But with all the extra hurricanes coming in and everything, we decided let's go ahead and finish it just so that way it's done. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're going to be doing a mechanical interlock, which is basically you have a mechanical device that will not let you turn on the main breaker if the generator interlocks or the generator breaker is turned on, and it won't let you turn the generator breaker on if the main breaker is on. It's a couple purposes, but the big purpose to me for that is if you don't have that interlock and you run that power straight to it and you don't turn that main, you're going to feed power back down the transmit power lines. There we go. I keep wanting to say transmission lines, but the power lines, and good potential that you can hurt the guys working on the line. So you don't want to do that. But it doesn't look like these interlocks are hard or anything, and I can kind of show you how to do that real quick. So let's take a go at it. All right, first thing we got to do, find your external breaker box. This is mine here. So a couple things real quick. You have to have obviously 2 bays available to put the breaker in, because it does take up 2. As you can see, I got 2 left. However, it does have to go here. Just the way the interlock works, the interlock, it has to be the breaker here and the main breaker here. This is the septic tank breaker, which I'm going to try to move it to here. And this breaker actually goes to an old, I don't know if y'all can see this coming out the side, but that's a 30 amp output to a camper we used to have a long time ago that we don't have. So my plan is to disconnect this wire, get all that wire out, put it in the shed, and then I'm going to move that breaker to here and just leave it off for future use. And then this is for my welding machine. If need be, I can flip this to this side, but I'm going to try to just move these 2 over here. That way it's just less moving. So if I do move this, then I got to move these down and everything else. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure y'all can probably hear it, but my air conditioner is running, so I know I got power. So before I reach in here and do anything, I'm going to turn my power off and make sure I hear that unit turn off, which y'all did. That way I know I do not have power in here from here down anymore. Less likely to get electrocuted that way. And then there's just a handful of screws if I can get them out. Well, I might have to go get a socket. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a socket. Okay, you should be able to just use a flathead for this, but that flathead's actually the tip of it's twisted a little bit, so that's our problem. It's just a little 8mm socket. Another thing we're going to do is make sure we don't have no voltage here. And we're going to go no voltage. So our panel is 100% dead, which, I mean, we saw that with the air conditioner going off, but it's always nice to just quadruple check that. So I want to pull this one, and we're probably going to look at completely pulling all this out. So we got that one out of the way. Now we should be able to just pull that one out, and we'll put it, well, we're going to set it out of the way, because this other one for the septic Okay, not too bad. Okay, that's our septic. And we can shove this other one in here just for storage. Okay. We grab our cable and our new breaker. We're going to slip our new breaker in. Okay. And our new cable. So this is 6-gauge cable here. Got it from Lowe's. I mean, I guess most of this you can get from Lowe's. This breaker is actually from Amazon, which is the same exact breaker you can get from Lowe's, and it's cheaper. So whenever you're looking at buying your breaker, you got to make sure you get the right kind for your box, because they do got little different designs and stuff. Get all this tape cut off. Okay. Gonna feed this up through this hole that the other one was coming through. There we go. I'll peel back the sheathing. So 50 amp, you're gonna have 4 wires. This is a 10 gauge ground and 3 6-gauge wires. Black and red goes to the breaker. The ground and your white goes to your grounding bar here. And that crazy kids. That's really all there is to it. Wait. We're running over here. Go. That's the red wire. stripping. We need a flat head. I had a square bit in here, so I'm going to grab a flat bit. So on our breaker, we'll loosen these all the way back. Into your, where's the screwdriver? There it is. So you run that into one side of the post. Got a little too much wire sticking out, I think. We're going to try to trim this a little bit. Put the black wire on one of the breaker bolts here, and then tighten it down. Okay. And same thing for this red one, except it goes into the other side. Make sure both sides are snug really well. And then we just got our grounding wires. Let's see. tighten both those screws down. Okay, we've got our wires connected. We'll double check, triple check, make sure everything's tight. Okay, everybody's happy. I'm going to trim out some of this. There's less trash in the box. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, so we'll go ahead and install the interlock. So with the interlock, we'll be able to 100% have this only turned on when this is turned off. And what that's going to allow us to do is to put all this back together. We can leave this turned on, turn this back off so we get power back inside, and then we can start messing with this end down here, getting everything connected and ready to go. So let me grab that interlock kit and get us set up to where we can put that together. Okay, so there's a bunch of these different interlock kits for the different breaker boxes basically. This one works with mine, which is I guess it's a model GKPN200. And you can kind of see what all it's compatible with right there. Okay. Looks to be coming with some pretty good directions here. So basically it's just saying remove the cover, which we already done. And it says to disassemble the interlock as shown in picture 1, which is already disassembled. But looks like it has to go like this. Alright, it says disassemble interlock shown in picture 1. Place bottom plate above the top right breaker, which is what we got going on. Drill holes as marked on the panel cover with supplied 4.8mm bit, which came with a bit. Pretty much it says place it like it is and drill the holes, so hopefully this pans out. That's pretty much the gist of it. I got to tighten it all down, but basically, so when this is in the down position, it allows the main breaker to flip forward, and doesn't allow this one to flip forward. And when it's in the up position, the main has to be turned off to fit in the slot, and that's going to allow this one to flip forward. So I'm going to get it all snugged up and get it ready to put on. Alright folks, so I got this all snugged up. I got it back installed. You can see it floats up and down. So how this works is, if I wanted the main power on, this will be in the down position, and I should be able to flip this open to here. So as soon as I do that, I get my main power, and in this position I can't turn on my main
or my generator power. Now if I want to turn on my generator power, I gotta have that in the off position, push this up, and I can turn my generator on. And then since this is on, it holds that up and keeps me from pushing this forward. And so that's all of it, all the interlock is. Turn my septic tank back on. Oh, that's AC, septic, generator, water, okay. Anyway, let's make sure I got everything on that needs to be on when I turn power back on. So say once the power comes back on, I can turn my generator off, turn my main AC on. Power goes off, I turn my main AC off, or my main line off, main breaker off, and then push that up and turn my generator on. So that's all interlock really works. It's mainly a safety to remind people to, before you do, you turn on your generator lock, turn off your main power lock, and that keeps you from backfeeding power down the lines. There's been several linemen that got killed from stuff like that, and on top of that, there also been several generators get fried because the linemen had to pick up techniques, and now they ground those wires most of the time for that instance, and so they fry your generator, which I mean, in that scenario, that's the best outcome in my opinion. So now our generator's off, and we should be able to turn our main AC on, our main line on. You can hear the air conditioner kick on. I need to come in and I'll do that later, but I'll come in with permanent marker, scratch that out, put the generator on this. This is just a little welding outlet that's right here. My air conditioner, septic, and this is really just a spare now. This was hooked up to a camper at one point in time, but we don't have the camper no more. So now what we do is we start prepping this and we figure out exactly where we want our generator box, and we connect all that up, and we're done. Okay, for the hookup point for the generator, this is what I got. I got it from Amazon. It's just faster to get in that way. You can get this stuff from Lowe's, but for my Lowe's at least, you got to order it from their website. So we didn't really want to wait that long for it to come in, because we had a couple, or we do have a couple hurricanes, and it's a couple week lead time from Lowe's, which is probably due to all the hurricane stuff that's happening. I imagine demand on this stuff's pretty high right now. So what we'll have to do is we'll figure out where we want to mount this on that pole over there. We'll probably have to use these holes here to screw it down, and then we'll run our line in on the side or underneath to be able to plug everything up and be good to go. Okay, got the power turned back on, so sorry about the inconvenience of the AC running there. Went ahead and screwed this on. I got 3 screws running. I got the side plug out, because that's where I'm going to run my wire in. So I'm coming from up here. I'm just going to go straight in. Comes with this little rubber seal. So I'm going to feed that onto my wire, go on the wire, and then go on the seal through this hole. Obviously we don't need the extra 3 foot coming out of the box, so the next step's going to be to cut the wire. Now we need to peel this back. This ground's going to go here. Okay. That's our ground. This is already put on, but we'll snug it up too. Okay. The rest of this is flathead. Just we'll do that and strip our wire a little bit. See how that sits. Perfect. That is perfect. So this one's color coded. We got white, red, black. So it's not too bad. All we gotta do is terminate these wires into this block, put it all back together, and we're done. White. Okay, we got everything snug. Now we'll just tug on each little individual wire, make sure everything's happy. Check the ground wire that they already had pre-installed here. We'll snug that, see about snugging that screw up a little bit. That was pretty snug. Okay, and here's going to be the pain in the butt part, just putting this thing back on. Okay. All right, guys, that's it on this one. We got the interlock set up. We got the plug set up. I got a 25-foot 50-amp generator cord so that I can have the generator away from the house and running. And then I got the generator I got. I'm trying to remember what it's Dura something, I think. Anyway. It's like a 13,000 watt generator, so it should be able to run my house. We'll have to do certain things, like we want to turn on the hot water heater. We're probably gonna have to turn off the AC, and you know, we'll have to pick and choose, like running the stove and that kind of stuff. But ultimately, it'll be able to run everything we need it to run. It'll run the air conditioner or the heater, which, all honesty, if we lose power during winter or while it's cold outside, or we need heat, we're just gonna run the fireplace. So the field of yellow flowers is still here. It's pretty nice. It's cooled off, so we got our window blinds open all the time, and we can just look out here and see this all day. It's pretty. But anyway, been wanting to do that because we had a ice storm, winter storm that came through the south a few years back. It was pretty bad. I think that happened roughly 3 to 4 years ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. A lot of people lost their lives because our houses and stuff ain't built to withstand those temperatures, and we all lost power, and so it was bad. Our area is not built for that kind of weather. Anyway, we lost power then, and then again we had a hurricane come through, and it pretty much ripped off every shingle off my roof. We didn't stay here. We went to my parents' house. They got a brick house, and it's lower. It's down in like a hill valley area, versus we're just on top of a hill here. I want to in a double wide, so we're not doing that. But anyway, both times we lost power. I don't know. We didn't have power for about a week or so, and we did have our red generator. We got a Troy built generator. It's like 6250 watt or something, and we would just run the extension cords and do all that. But whenever it's a week long and your septic tank is a sprinkler septic tank, to where, you know, it shoots it out the sprinkler, so it has to build pressure when you ain't got power, you really start getting nervous about all that stuff backing up into the house. And then, you know, it was kind of a pain trying to wash clothes and do all that and tend to the kids, and obviously still had to work during that time period. So it is what it is. But now we don't have to worry about that. We can just hook the generator up. We turn on the whole house. We don't have to worry about stranding 20 electrical cords across the house. It's really just roll the generator out, plug it into that plug-in extension cord, crank it up, let it warm up, turn off the main breaker, turn off your big appliances like your AC and stuff, and then once it's warmed up, flip that generator breaker on, or pick the interlock on, flip the generator breaker on, let it start everything else, and then turn on the AC and that kind of stuff. So, and we got that was the other thing, running that little generator. We have 2 refrigerators and 2 deep freezers in the house, and so every time we lose power, we got to pull those out, which they're slap full of food and everything, so they're heavy. So you got to pull those out, and you got to try to get an extension cord to the plug-in. Now I just plug it into the whole house, turn the whole house on. So it's really nice. I think all in all, minus the generator, obviously generators are pretty expensive. I think when I bought that generator, it was cheaper, because that generator is several years old now. But as far as like the extension cord, the box, the breaker, and that cable, I'm probably in less than $200. And then, you know, however much you spend on a generator, because there are smaller generators, 50 amp generators, you can do the same thing. You can do the same thing with 30 amp generators, so do what you got to do. Anyway, that's it on this one, y'all. Hope y'all learned a little something, and yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me on the farm today. It's been one of those days. I'm a little bit tired. Been up since early this morning, so. But thank y'all for joining me on the farm today. Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all next time.